lot of new movie trailers out recently. Some are good. Some are really hyped. Some just don't look that great. We're the nerds, and we're going to try to make sense of it.
Take that.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another great Nerds Make Sense. As always, I'm Josh.
I'm Ted.
I'm Manuel.
So today we are going to be talking about several movie trailers and movies that are coming out in the coming weeks. Most notably, we're going to be talking about Godzilla, the It 2, the obviously the sequel to the first one.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about Brightburn, which looks really interesting.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't tell if it's good or bad yet. I mean, it's something that I'm going to have to see to know for sure, but it looks interesting.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've got the new Chucky movie. What is the actual series name on that one again?
Child's Play.
Child's Play.
But this one's just Chucky,
Is it just called Chucky this time?
No, it's Child's Play.
Is it Child's
okay.
Play? Oh, okay, we're back to the original title. Back to Child's Play.
And then, of course, last and most definitely least, we're going to be talking about Sonic
Sonic.
the Hedgehog.
Blue streak.
Oh boy.
And before we start, we're talking about Godzilla trailers. We know that there's been a couple, but
Faster than.
we kind of collected everything because every trailer was kind of different.
Yeah.
So now we have everything we can talk about that right there. So this was talk about.
Yeah. So let's jump right in it with Godzilla. So I mean,
Yeah.
I was actually a big fan of the first movie that came out. What was it?
2014.
It was 2014, so 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
so
now.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, I know it didn't do great. I mean, the critics didn't rate it great, but the fans liked it.
Yeah, because it as a movie.
It was a lot more faithful to the source material than
Yeah.
that piece of trash.
Oh hey,
from,
hey, I love
That was
that one. I love
the 2000s.
I love that
Godzilla.
shitty Godzilla.
It wasn't.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I do too, but we have to recognize it for the piece of crap it is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay, you know what? It was a Jurassic Park ripoff, and
Yeah, that's what I'll say.
and
Bad
I don't
CGI.
I don't know why he had to eat fish. I don't know why that was a thing. But I saw it when I was like 9 or something, and
He was pregnant.
it was very dear to my heart.
And yeah, so the Godzilla, so I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah,
I know they did a lot to change it. No, they did minor changes, but it didn't change the whole thing of Godzilla.
Yeah, and his overall design is pretty true to form.
Yeah.
The first movie was enough Godzilla, but also like it had like a weird artsy horror movie type thing into it where you don't see the monster till the very end. So we for most of the movie we don't see Godzilla, and I know that's a lot of people's problems. Is that like, oh, we didn't get a lot of Godzilla, but the Godzilla we did get was incredible.
Yeah.
That whole ending fight scene was incredible.
Oh yeah.
So
they started with like the back, then they started with the feet, and then
Yeah.
and then they panned up and
and
showed
that
you
and the sound design for everything, like when he gets his beam fired up, when you hear that,
Oh,
that's so good.
I mean, and of course the Godzilla roar is iconic.
And then I think my only issue with the first movie was that the monsters he fights weren't anything like I was familiar with, and then in this new one we have like
Everyone.
at least I want to say like 4 or 5 things I know for sure are there,
Mothra,
and I'm pretty
King Ghidorah.
Rodan,
Yeah.
with isn't it Spiky one? The spiky roller guy in there?
No, not this
in
one.
the trailer, they said there's a certain amount. I'm not going to name it off. I think they said 12 or somewhere around that range, but we only seen them.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be in it. He's
Yeah.
he's iconic.
Yeah. So the thing about that is that in the old old Godzilla, he was mutated off the atomic bomb, a lizard, an iguana, or what?
Yeah.
That was the 1990.
Yeah.
one.
So in this one,
He
these
said-
things have been around, and they're like titans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
they're essentially
things-
from ancient times.
And
Yeah.
and that's why they stick with the name Godzilla. Like he's Godzilla.
Yeah, and
He's
then
God.
yeah, so like Godzilla, he used to, when the world was new and it was radioactive, it fed off that. But then as it went away, he went closer to the Earth's core to get off the radiation of the Earth's core. So that's why you haven't seen him.
Yeah.
So I like how they did that. It's sort of like not a history thing, if that makes sense, but like they
Yeah.
try to go with that.
Yeah, well, because it has Godzilla's ties, because like originally it wasn't like some cool actiony movie. It was like a horror movie. Like they were like, yeah, this is what happens. We got hit with an atomic bomb. It ruined us. It destroyed us. And then Godzilla was like an allegory for that. Like he destroyed whole cities. He leveled it. You know, and now it's got like another kind of tie to it where I think they're trying. It's kind of like an anti-war thing in the first one. I felt like, I don't know. Oh yeah, we're using more nukes, and that brought them out of their slumber because now they feel nukes around, and we're eating our nuclear waste and shit. And I was like, oh okay, all right, let's get back to it.
Yeah, in the new trailer, when they showed Rodan as one of the in the new trailer, it's pretty crazy because I thought Rodan was in the first one.
I thought he was too.
When the first one came out. The Muto, which is
the massively unidentified terrestrial object.
Yeah.
And then it started flying, and they're like, oh well, this one can fly now.
Yeah, that's not, from what I know, that's not a real.
Yeah, that's an original.
It's an original. Yeah. So they had to basically test the waters. I'm pretty sure they didn't want to put their best out there and it sucked. So. Yeah. So when they showed it flying, the Rodan's in there, and Mothra was actually an Easter egg in the first one, if you guys remember.
I don't.
When they went back into...
Your mic is too far from your...
No, I hear myself pretty loud. Okay. When they came back to... the Easter egg was from Mothra in the first one is when they came... when the dad and son came back to where the explosion was from the first one, the earthquake, whatever.
The old site. Yeah.
And they went back to the house, and it's like panning and showing you all like how old it is. It shows like a little, like a not a box, but like a cage. I'm gonna say a cage, like fucking tin thing where they keep the thing that, and it said Mothra written on like a tape in there, and it had like cobwebs and stuff.
Bro.
So it was.
I'm gonna have to
I'm
gonna have to rewatch that movie when I go home.
I watched.
Damn,
and I caught. And
I'm gonna be up till like 4 a.m. looking for it.
And it's crazy. No, you won't miss it. I don't know how any of you missed it because it's there. It shows it like da 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 Mothra da da da.
Bro, I've watched this movie like I want to say like 20 times now, and I'm like, bro, you're blowing my mind.
I've watched it a couple of times. I haven't watched it that much.
Well, this is one of the movies I own like
it's at the beginning
digitally. It's like on my laptop. So like when I need like. If I'm ever somewhere where I don't have internet or whatever, and I just need to put on a movie, I put like that on, like that or the one of the Pokemon movies I have like digitally, and so I've seen it so many times, like it's just been around me so many times. That's crazy that I missed that.
Yeah, so let's see. I wonder if that's the same one because it could be because if it's radioactive and everything, then it could be that Mothra.
Yeah.
So and then
that's gonna be weird because Mothra's origins are kind of like
it's off an island. Yeah, it's off an island that worshipped. Yeah, and then so is Ghidorah, King Ghidorah.
Yeah,
he's from space. The Space Invaders. Basically, he came from space, but they found him in ice and Earth.
Yeah, well, it's I'm definitely interested. I wonder what they're gonna do.
I don't understand how Rodan's from volcanoes though. I don't get that,
bro. I don't know.
I thought it was Ghidorah that was coming out of the volcano in the trailer.
No, it's Rodan. It shows him covered like in lava, and he comes out of
it. Okay, so I may be thinking the wrong thing. King Ghidorah is the giant dragon with 3 heads, right?
Yeah, that's Ghidorah. Okay. They call him Ghidorah. They don't call him king in this one, I guess.
Because he's not like a king. He's just.
Well, they refer to him as the Alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like everybody, all the other ones are following him.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he's like a pack leader right there.
So he'll probably get the name King Ghidorah at some point.
Yeah.
If he doesn't die.
Then Godzilla comes in.
Well, it's gonna be the last fight.
And that's
they're gonna save that
actually,
last.
So hyped, dude.
It could die because there's Mecha King Ghidorah. So
but I think they would have to wait until after we get a Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, Mecha Godzilla. And that's the thing.
That'd probably be a third movie.
Yeah, that's my whole. It's not a problem. Ain't no problem. But the thing about this Godzilla movie is that you start in the old one where these 3 giant things are here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it wrecks fucking all this shit in San Francisco, and then it goes away. And then all of a sudden, in this one, it's like fucking she's just like fucking. The girl is just like
Millie.
Yeah,
Millie
she's
Bobby
like,
Brown.
we need you. We're calling you, right? And then it's like the world they show. It's the fucking shit.
Yeah, like, it's kind of like Pacific Rim, which Legendary Pictures also did.
Yeah, and that was a teaser for Godzilla 2 because at the end of that, in the end credits scenes, is Godzilla's roar. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Maybe Pacific Rim is the outcome of all these battles.
Yeah,
maybe.
but the thing about
Because remember, they talk about building the suits
yeah,
to fight the kaiju.
Yeah.
and then so in this Godzilla movie, it's like the world looks like it's like done. Like it's all like you can tell.
It's all.
And they go in, they're underground. So my thing is like, for Mechagodzilla to become a thing, like I'm thinking futurized because I'll talk about Kong in a minute. But if Mechagodzilla is a thing, Mechagodzilla was in the old days when they needed something to fight Godzilla because Godzilla was the threat.
Maybe that was their first weapon, and then maybe they're successful. And here's I'm coming up with this right now.
Yeah.
Like maybe they build Mechagodzilla to
As, like,
fight Godzilla after like Godzilla loses control or something, and just starts going on a rampage.
If you guys pay attention to this Godzilla, they treat this one as a good guy.
Yeah,
They
right.
do,
But what
they
I'm
do.
saying is,
Because
like,
there's
maybe a setup. Maybe after he fights Kong, maybe something happens to where he just starts going crazy.
Yeah.
And
Or it, it's one of those things where like man versus nature, where we make a move on him because we
eventually,
because we're like, oh well, who's gonna say that he's not gonna blow us up? Maybe we
And
should
then,
blow him up first.
Yeah.
And then
I feel like
then
if
we
they-
make a strike because that's always happens, especially with like military style things. They're always like, well,
so they build
he's a threat.
They
so
build
we
a
gotta kill him.
Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
Maybe they mutually destroy each other, and then all these other kaiju start popping up, and they're like, "Oh shit! Now we have nobody to protect ourselves.
Exactly.
Let's build giant suits and pilot them, and kill them."
I feel like if they do Mechagodzilla, America's not going to be the one that makes Mechagodzilla. It's going to be some other country.
Probably.
Because the way this is that Godzilla.
Maybe it'll be just like a straight up shadow organization that builds it.
No, I don't know about that because I can't really say that for sure because if the world looks like this and America's like underground, then all the other places have to be underground. They named like 12 or 14 different monsters, and we only see 4 so far in America. There's other shit around the
Well,
world.
no, some of them aren't even in America. Some
Yeah,
of them
yeah,
were,
but-
like one of them was in like London or something. I thought.
Yeah, well, they're all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So in this, it's like the world is like already like fucked up by these things.
This actually kind of it kind of is familiar to one of the comics I read, where that's the state of things at the start is that the world's all fucked. People are like on the defensive. They're like, yeah, they're just roaming around like it's a kaiju world, and we're just fucking trying to live in it, And that's kind of the same picture I see here is that they're not doing anything. They're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the vibe I got with like that one scene we see where they're like in a jet or something or like some kind of ship or some kind, and they're like, well, this time we're gonna fight too. And that's kind of the vibe I get is that they've already like lost and they've given up. They're like, oh well, we're just gonna get stamped on. What are we gonna do about it?
So with them doing like that, it's the last hurrah because that's what I'm saying. Because like for Mechagodzilla, because like if they do Mechagodzilla, it's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be like some other country who feels threatened by it or like already built something to fight their monsters that are there.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like, oh wow, we gotta get rid of all this one too, Godzilla. The same thing for Kong. I'm trying to figure out.
I really don't know how Kong's gonna fit into this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying because the world is shit and Kong Island can't be perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything has to be the shit at this point. Like I'm stressing that because by the trailer, because if they're just saying,
so what we know about all these monsters is that they seek radiation as a source, and we have like all of the major continents have like a radiation source that are like our reactors and our power plants and everything, and our weaponry. So that's probably what they're going after. A place like Skull Island, where I haven't actually seen the movie yet, but I don't think there's like any radioactive properties there. So I don't think
they have
anything would go there, right?
They have what the fuck is their organization called? Monarch.
Yeah.
There's Monarch ships that have radiation on there.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so Monarch's been there. The people that worship Kong are people from Monarch that like got stranded there and lost their fucking mind from a long time ago.
That makes sense.
So
I gotta watch that. So
Yeah, that's a
I'm
good
gonna
movie.
watch that before I see.
So that's what I'm so excited for. That's what I'm so excited for. Like it doesn't make me wrong. The world can be shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm not here for the people.
Yeah, who cares about people?
But
This isn't.
I can't wait to see because this movie looks so amazing. The fight scenes and the recent trailers that just came out when they have them rushing and fighting each other. I can't wait to see what happens. Because I know some things that can go out. There could be like Monster Island where it's all buried off and they all live in their own little fucking world, right? They could do that. But and then it's just so much. There's so much that I can't wait for.
There's a lot. Okay, so we should do. We should all say one short prediction for the movie, and then whether or not we're gonna see it.
Okay.
So
you can go first.
Okay, I'll go first. So my prediction is, let's see. Mothra's gonna die. I'm pretty sure Mothra's gonna fucking die. Like he's gonna get like tragically sacrificed, and then it's like, oh no, not Mothra. We really like Mothra, but he's gonna be dead. It doesn't matter. He's gonna die. I feel that in my bones.
I thought Mothra was a bad guy.
Mothra's a good guy.
Mothra's a good guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mothra's like chill.
Yeah,
Like they think
that's-
Mothra's like bad initially, I think, but then like some of the people tell him like, oh, that's our
Yeah,
god, Mothra.
If you've seen in the trailer, you can see the main characters go up and pet it when it's a larva.
Yeah.
Like, cause it's friendly. It's friendly. It's like more of the people.
Yeah,
monster.
but Mothra does have like an evil clone or something. That's
Yeah,
like
it does. That was fucking
another
fresh. It's all black.
butterfly moth type thing. But
It's all fucking black. It looks fucking fresh.
okay. Well, anyway, Ted or Josh or whatever, would put one of you.
Go ahead, Josh.
I mean, I really don't know exactly what to predict for this one. I predict that it's going to be a good movie.
Okay, so you're gonna see. Oh, I forgot to say.
That's-
I forgot to say. Yeah, I'm planning on seeing it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, here's the thing. We are going to see it. I've already bought the tickets for us. So
Hey, don't break the illusion.
What
I'm
an
excited
illusion! What illusion!
to make the decision of whether or not I'm gonna watch this movie.
We're all going to see it. I bought our tickets already.
Nothing is preordained, and fate is fake.
Now the other movies after this, then we can say whether or not we want
Okay,
to go see it in theaters.
Ted, what are your predictions? Do you plan on seeing this movie?
Yeah, I'm planning.
You better, or you owe me $13.50.
If it has a giant monster in it, it's pretty good. I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
You know what?
I watched
Big mood, bro. Big mood.
I watched every black and white Godzilla movie. I watched every remake Godzilla movie. I watched the spin-offs of Mothra. I watched all of them. I watched this one.
If we get into it, I would like to go through the entire Godzilla discography. Like
That would be something to do. At some point.
filmography, not discography.
And my prediction is that what's gonna happen? Godzilla's gonna fight Ghidorah, obviously.
Oh,
and
no shit.
And it's gonna.
It's gonna look amazing.
No, Ghidorah is gonna like have the upper hand on Godzilla, and then the other monsters are gonna like see like, oh fuck, wait a minute. And then
Wait
they're
a
gonna
minute.
like wait a fucking minute.
Wait a minute. I don't even like Ghidorah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be like this one epic team up fight because I kind of know like how crazy it can be. So it's gonna be like epic like Blue and Rexy from Jurassic World. Like
dude, that'd be so tight.
that's gonna be fucking.
Bro,
fun.
I'd love for somebody to like pick up Godzilla and
Wait,
like,
they
fly
actually
him
named
somewhere.
it Rexy, or is that what you named it?
That's the name for it for the first one.
Yeah, so the original T-Rex is Rexy, right?
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's funny.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. What was next on the docket?
Next is It 2.
It
Alright.
Part 2. Is it Part 2 or Chapter 2?
Well, I guess it's either one.
Okay, whatever. It the second.
So I mean,
Itter.
I've seen of course I've seen the trailer.
Yes.
It looks like. I mean, here's the thing. It looks like the story I already know.
Yeah, it does.
It is.
You know.
Well. Actually, I don't remember in the original one, the movies at least. I tried to read the book.
In the trailer that we've got is the girl visiting her old home, right?
Yeah, and it's the old lady. I remember that scene. I know that happens. And
Yeah,
then,
but except in
the old lady goes
in
crazy.
the old miniseries, it was an actual house, not an apartment.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it was.
That's
but
what the original one.
It was like still her neighbor or whatever. But,
Yeah.
But I don't remember that lady being like the daughter of Pennywise or something. I think that's a new.
No,
new bit.
that's just she's not actually the daughter of Pennywise.
Well,
She is Pennywise. She is Pennywise.
But I don't remember that story being told. I remember the lady just saying something like, "Oh, you're all gonna fucking die because you guys fucking suck," and then she's like, "What?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking kill you." But you know, hearing an old lady say that shit is just like jarring. You know, and that's just how I remember that scene going. But this one was a little different. But yeah, it's pretty familiar. I mean, the original one was pretty familiar. They didn't deviate too much from what I already knew. I know they upscaled like the timeline.
Yeah.
Because instead of it being in the 50s, it was like
Yeah,
the 80s or whatever. And then they're gonna be in the present time.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot from this trailer to like that I could take away from it. I was like, no, this is pretty it is pretty much what I knew. I know there's like a little fewer details. I'm like, no, this is
Yeah, I
about
mean,
what I expected.
other than that prolonged little scene we get in the trailer, everything else is just kind of flashes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't show you what's going on.
What do you guys think of the cast? Do you guys like the casting choices they made for
You
the
know,
adults?
I do, but one that I was surprised by was James McAvoy.
Me too.
I was not expecting to see him as the grown up. I can't remember the kid's name.
The
For
stuttering
the
one.
life of me, yeah. But he was like the leader.
I only know Richie. Richie's the.
He
fucking
was essentially the
big old fart.
group leader.
Yeah. He was the Stephen King self-insert in the original.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess also in this one because he becomes a writer or whatever.
Yeah, but
I had no problem with the cast.
no, I don't have a problem with it. I was surprised to see him. I think the move to get Bill Hader is absolutely
Bill
spot
Hader.
on.
Bill Hader, I'm okay with because he's who is he?
He's the kid with the glass one.
He's Richie, right?
I think so. Like I said, I don't know their names.
Yeah, he's the one with the curly hair, and he's the one who says fuck all the time. He's like, yeah, I'm like, fuck your mom and whatever, and all that stuff. That's him, right? Because that's a good choice for Bill Hader. Bill Hader's that kind of person.
Yeah.
The rest of them I didn't like as much. I mean, but they're supposed to be from an old town in the middle of nowhere.
But fuck nowhere, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like they look like they're from there, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing, though, and I don't know why this is, but Manuel, you don't know this. Ted, you know this.
He knows.
What do I not
Oh,
know?
you know that I'm definitely afraid of clowns.
Oh yeah, he told me, and I honestly started laughing.
Here's the thing, though, the Pennywise from this movie, and of course the previous one, doesn't. I mean, yes, he can be scary at times, but it doesn't scare me
Because you grew up.
like the old one. No, because Tim Curry,
scary.
dude, Tim Curry in the It makeup. I mean, even if I see him in a picture today, still scares the shit out of me.
This one freaks me out because they give him they do the same thing to him that they did in like the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland, and they just made her forehead huge, and that freaks me out because it reminds me of aliens, and aliens scare me. I love aliens and anything about aliens. Like if there's a movie with aliens in it, I watch it. But like big-headed gray aliens, like just the thought of them like makes my skin crawl sometimes.
Yeah.
So that freaks me out. Old Tim Curry honestly is hilarious to me. Just I just love Tim Curry. Tim Curry just makes me laugh.
I think
and
the
then
whole
and then
thing,
him with that accent, whatever that accent was
Do the voice he did.
it was like,
please don't.
Hey Georgie. And I'm thinking about that. I'm like, what accent was that? It sounds like he's from Jersey or something.
Yeah, I told him.
What?
I rewatched it recently. I think I watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I told Manuel I couldn't stop thinking, hey Georgie.
You know, okay. So the first time I saw the original I was like, I think I couldn't have been older than like 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah, that's when I saw it.
So naturally, it scared the crap out of me, and I think I got some kind of like PTSD from that shit. So it's like today when I see Tim Curry dressed up as Pennywise, it's like no.
You know what? My takeaway from that when I was younger, because I didn't really understand what was happening. I could barely understand that Pennywise was like a villain. You know, like I was just like I would just see the scenes with like the adults just being dicks and just like screaming and yelling at kids. I'm like that is what being a kid's like. I feel like that's just what adults are like. Like adults just fucking suck sometimes. Cause cause there's a scene where like the doctor is like talking to the asthmatic kid and he's like, you know these are fake, right? You don't need these. You're just being a freaking baby or something. You know, like that scene. He just like starts yelling at him, like berating him for like needing medicine. And I was like, you know what? I feel like I've been in that situation. Like not that specifically.
Well, that's because he's actually a hypochondriac. He doesn't actually have asthma.
Yeah, but like that feeling, like that made me feel worse than most of the scary parts in that movie. Like where the brother dies, I was like, oh whatever, kids die, whatever. But like
I was 8 years old.
Yeah,
whatever.
that always is the sad part for me is knowing that he actually is dead. There's no chance.
Yeah.
I mean after what is it originally when he first disappears? It's like what is it, a year or two?
Yeah.
Before the group finally encounters Pennywise.
Yeah.
I mean he's gone. There's no chance he's coming back. But.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to this one because I liked some of the more detail they gave us in the first chapter, and I like how they separated it. I like that we got to see the first part and then we're gonna see the second part.
Yeah,
Because the original miniseries, you met the older kids, and then they all had their own flashback, and you had to like piece it together. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like it was cool, you know. But I also like this more in a multi-part, you know, thing.
Yeah.
And then with this one, doing some research on it before.
Here we go.
Stephen King, right? He's the one who wrote this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen King.
He hated all his other books to movies, right? He hated all of them.
Well, there's some of them he had parts in where he was like high the entire time he was like doing the script for him.
Yeah, but he hated all the live action adaptations to
he
the
hated
movie.
like Cujo.
But-
he hated.
But he's seen,
Not The Shining though.
no, he fucking hated that.
Was The Shining him?
No, wait.
Yeah, that's Stephen King.
Yeah, he fucking hated. He hated all of it.
Oh, you're right. Because I
The
okay.
Shining's one of the greatest damn horror movies of all
No,
time.
that's the greatest of all times, but he hated it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, he hated it. If I correctly, but he
Yeah.
watched it part 2, and he fucking loved it.
Yeah,
That's
that's,
really
that's
cool.
cool.
He
That's
fucking loved it. He said he loved the movie. He loved the director. He fucking loved it.
Yeah.
So that's fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't know how much I trust that man because like I said, he was coked out of his mind for a lot of stuff, and like I'm not gonna make.
I mean,
I'm
have
not,
you seen some of this shit?
yeah,
that
I'm
he's
not.
written, though?
Yeah, I'm not gonna make fun of him for it. Like whatever. Like not trying to down
I think
talk him
he
because he's
coked out for a lot of his
he's a great author. I just don't know how well
He's
I
the
trust
Edgar Allan Poe of our time.
whoa. We're saying some stuff. Okay, we're saying some really bold statements. I don't entirely disagree, but I don't entirely agree either. But yeah, anyway, one of the most interesting things is I know he's very fond of this I wouldn't call it a series, but this property in particular, because in almost every one of his other books and movies and whatever, he makes references to this one. Like, was it Dreamcatchers? Have you guys seen Dreamcatchers? That's my favorite one.
Mm.
I'm in the middle of reading the book, and I would say in the middle, but I'm like not that far in, but I'm in the process of reading the book. But I guess he makes a reference to Pennywise, because there's an alien, and like the aliens are like telepathic and whatever, and they can like enter your mind and take control of you, and then they're in the woods somewhere, and he like makes a reference to Derry, and then Pennywise, and then they're like, oh, Pennywise, or oh fuck, that guy scares me, or some shit. And I was like what?
Well, have you heard of have you seen the film theory of that?
Was there a film theory on it?
Yeah, have you heard about it?
I think so. Oh, was that the one where they also talked about how the kids have The Shining, and that's how they
Yeah,
like they have a mental battle with
yeah.
it was like that.
And then how like in
Yeah.
Cujo is like it's just a darkness itself, and darkness becomes Pennywise.
Yeah.
Darkness becomes Cujo.
Yeah.
The darkness becomes that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
and so like the thing that makes Pennywise the it is supposed to be like this old like eldritch monster that is fear itself. It is the darkness. It is like evil.
Yeah, because in the original miniseries, wasn't the actual monster like some
It was a big fucking
giant
spider.
Yeah, telepathic spider alien thing?
Yeah, and then they just like
He sprays he sprays his fucking asthma medicine on it, and it kills it.
Yeah, and well, no, they actually have to. No, it like runs away, and then and then they're like let's make sure it never comes back, and so it's obviously like a puppet, because it's when you go back and watch it, and it was very very obviously like a really like not great animatic, because it was a TV miniseries and not like a blockbuster movie that did this.
It was also made in the 80s.
Yeah, and so like it like slowly walks behind a rock, and then you see like the silhouettes of everybody, like, oh, we're gonna kill it, and you just see them smashing rocks on something, and then like a blood trickles or something, and then you just assume that it's dead because they couldn't show that on camera, I guess. But it was a little. It doesn't do the like the scale of what it is and what it does justice. Like I think this new one does, is like you kind of get a grasp of how big it is, like exactly its impact. Like I'm sure if you go back and watch the original and you like and these things now, like if you read the book, like you pick up on that people are like in denial of missing kids, that they don't want to face the reality of like all this fucked up shit's happening, and that's part of his influence is that he's like, oh, I make everybody afraid, and I make them so afraid that they don't want to even admit that there's something to be afraid of, like that, and that's something you pick up more with this series. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that they make it more in your face that you can understand it, but
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
And and here's the thing too. I appreciate these movies a lot more because they're cerebral.
What do you mean?
It's not about the gore. It's not about the killing. It's
yeah.
about the intensity. It's about the what's the word I'm looking for? Oh God. This I can't think of the word. But it just like
it's
it
more,
messes with your head more.
it's more of a thriller, and
Yeah.
that was something I learned a long time ago. I thought I loved all horror movies. I thought I just really liked things within the horror genre. And so and then I was kind of let down with a lot of like just generic horror movies. I like them too; they have their charm, and I really do like the whole genre. But I found out what I really liked was the thriller genre, because I would see movies like I can't remember for the life of me what it's called, but it's about this dad who's like got a split personality, and like he thinks that he's being like haunted or something, and you don't find out he's got a split personality till like the very end of the movie, where he's like he goes into his study and it's like all tore up and it's got like these things written on it. So every time he thinks he's going into his study, he actually turns into a split personality and hangs out with his daughter and tells his daughter all this crazy shit. And like his daughter's telling him about her friend, and his name's like Barry or something, and like, yeah, Barry tells me it's okay to kill people, and he's like, okay, cool, we're moving. And then they moved, and he whatever, and then that's the twist at the end, and then it's a thriller because you don't really know what's happening. You're trying to make sense of it yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not like filled with blood and gore and jump scares
Right.
and stuff. And that's when it kind of hit me. I'm like, oh, I like the suspense. I like
There we go. That's the word, suspense.
Yeah, like I like being like, because I'm mentally trying to piece together things. It's got my attention. And I'm not just being like, I'm not being punished for paying attention like jump scares do. Like you pay attention. You're like really into it, and then all of a sudden it's like and it's like, okay, well I was watching, and now I don't want to watch anymore because you scared me.
And I know this movie isn't as popular as a lot of other horror movies, but one of my favorite horror movies of all time is When a Stranger Calls.
When a Stranger Calls, I did like that. That was okay. Because that one was more of a classic thing too. Because that was like are you talking about the new one or the remake?
The
new one or
the one that was it was in the early 2000s.
Early 2000s. Yeah. I think that was the remake.
Yeah, it was a remake.
Because the original one was like in the 80s or 90s, I think. Yeah. That conceptually is like a real because it's such a classic like just it's like an urban legend kind of, you know what I mean? So like it's a fear that you probably already have, and they're like playing on it, like because somebody's probably talked about it or said something about it, or a story you've already probably heard, and so like seeing it in reality is like seeing one of your fears like in front of you and like having to face it.
And then at the end, not knowing whether what she actually experienced was real or not.
Yeah.
Because
that stuff is...
you obviously we know that the candy she ate at the early part of the movie was laced with something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But so honestly, that's one of my So, but I have really high hopes for it too.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be
Me
good.
too.
It looks like it. I mean, it's not that the story's not good or the miniseries wasn't good. It's just this is better.
Yeah.
From what we've seen so far.
It's just because we have more. There's more being put into it because it's a movie and not a miniseries. So there's a higher budget. There's more stuff they can do. There's especially with just how CGI is now, that they can put in more like more things like that, and the actors are doing a pretty good job of like showing the real fear and showing how it looks and showing what it's like to be a teenager, you know what I mean, and so I actually just really like these characters more, you know, and so I'm more invested, and I'm gonna be a little sadder because I know who dies, I know what happens, and I know like how it hits people.
Oh yeah, and so that goes into what I was going to say. There's really no way we can make predictions on this one because, I mean, we already know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
here's something. What? So I don't think it's going to be a spider again. I hope it's not.
No, I don't think it will.
So
be
what do you think? What kind of what kind of final form do you think it'll take?
I have no idea, to be honest.
I feel like we got a sneak peek of it in the first one when they try to do their final assault on him inside the house.
Yeah.
And when he did that, like his hands came up and they,
Yeah.
when they first hit him. I don't know when they.
I don't think his true form has any corporeal.
Yeah.
I just think he's a monster.
Yeah, I just think he is the representation of fear.
That's what you. That's why when after they stabbed him in the head, like he was like, "You're not getting scared anymore," and then he turned around, and he was just like, "That was like fear." It's just like an uncanny monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just darkness. Like it's like I said. It's
Do
darkness.
you think that's what they do? That it'll just be like a dark, like moving mass?
No, I don't know.
You know?
I think a lot of people might be upset with that. I mean, I wouldn't, because that would make sense, because it's just darkness itself. It's the fear.
Yeah.
It's like what's deep down. Yeah, but
So do you think here's something we can predict on? Do you think at the end of this movie that it'll be like actually over, or do you think that we'll see like a continuation of it?
I think it possibly could set up a continuation, but I mean, it could just as easily, end it and
and be over.
Yeah. I think honestly, I think the smart thing to do would be, because people are enjoying it so much. Maybe you set up a possible ending to where if there isn't anything else, everyone's satisfied with the ending, but it leaves the option open to go further if you choose to, if you think that it would be financially.
I'm ready for the Stephen King cinematic universe.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And wasn't that something they were trying to start with the Dark Tower?
Yeah, well, the Dark Tower is its own series in itself.
Right, but doesn't it also make references to several other Stephen King's properties?
I think it does, or I think it might be the other way around.
Because they're like parallel universes, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it might be the other way around. I think they make references to Dark Tower things in his other book.
Okay.
I think
as like a thing that exists.
My prediction,
I might be wrong.
Is that I think it's gonna end. Like, it will be like that, but I would like to see set up for a new one. Like if they did Cujo,
that'd be tight.
That'd be cool. Like if they
that would really
maybe
I want another Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher came out pretty recently.
Here's
but
the
I would
thing.
like another one.
Maybe it is like we said, the representation of evil, and maybe by killing it in this form, it scatters out and then starts this whole connected franchise.
I don't, because if they make like another Shining, I think people would fucking riot.
Yeah.
I don't think they could meet expectations with a Shining movie.
I think that would be something way down the road if they were to ever try it again.
That'd have to be. It have to be some really artsy.
Because
shit.
I mean, the first one is
wasn't it Kubrick?
Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, and he's out there. He was like one of the most out there directors of the time. And I don't think we've I'm pretty sure we have directors now that are at his level. That he was if we were to bring him here. But I don't think we have a Stanley Kubrick of our time ready to show us things that would blow our minds.
Yeah, probably.
Right, so
we do have to kind of move along.
So we all plan on seeing that, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
I got to take my sister to see it because she's scared of clowns.
Take Josh with you.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the next one?
Next one I think is Brightburn.
Oh, Brightburn. Here we go. That's the one I was waiting to talk about.
Hold on, can we pause really quick?
What's the pause?
What's up?
Dude, I need you guys to lower your mic because it's like killing me. It's giving me my.
Okay.
Like, you guys are hella loud.
Okay.
Because I wasn't really talking. I was trying to keep myself.
Yeah, I can always edit this out.
Holy crap.
Is it better?
Like when Josh said something right now, I was like, you're like sparking. Oh my god. I don't know why it's so loud. I don't know if it's just
I don't know
me.
either.
It's like heck loud. Like it's like vibrating like the headset. Like I feel like it moving when everyone's talking. Whew.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's okay for now. I think.
How about now?
Is that gonna work?
Yeah.
Are you
it's gonna
good?
work, yeah.
I think. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were talking about Brightburn.
Yes.
Hold on, just a second. Mine now it sounds like mine's a little too low.
Yeah, you sound way better.
What do I mean? How do I sound?
Yeah, you sound. Yeah,
All right,
you sound
cool.
good.
Tight.
All right, that should work. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
All right. I'm not moving.
So Brightburn.
Brightburn.
Can we essentially just basically safely call this Evil Superman?
That's pretty much what it's supposed to be.
That's what it is.
I'm almost positive it's just supposed to be
I think
Superman if he turned out batshit crazy.
Yeah.
good. That's pretty.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, it would be a more truthful telling to like if a being like Superman were to land on Earth in our time.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, and that's something I was thinking too. Is like I'm pretty sure this is like a that's supposed to be like the takeaway from this is that like how our society is if somebody came brand new to to Earth in the middle of Kansas or whatever, you know, in the middle of America, and that's how they turn out. That's just how we are as people, as especially in America as a society. Like we're honestly full of hate and a lot of violence.
And you know, as a kid, he's gonna get bullied the shit out of, and that's
Exactly.
probably that. I mean, from what we've seen from the trailer, that's exactly what leads to this.
Yeah, and so you see that, and then you see what it does to him. Because like, even in so like just talking about Man of Steel, everybody's like not everybody, but most people have probably seen Man of Steel. Yeah, it's not good, but you see that, like you see him getting made fun of, and he has to be the stronger person because he had that, you know, that backbone. But like that doesn't exist anymore. Like it's not like I don't want to say it like it's like a problem with like our new family values or anything, but it's just like
no, it is.
It's just like us as a whole. Like we're not as compassionate, we're not as caring, we're not as concerned with like being responsible anymore, and like especially somebody who would be raising that kid right now. Like it's just not like this kid would have issues, and like there's just no way around it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty excited because you know James Gunn is attached to it. I don't know if he's a director or producer or whatever, but I trust James Gunn. I like at this point like he's not made something that I didn't enjoy, especially like when his horror movie stuff. 'Cause I think he did Slither. Slither was the one he did. Slither was really cool.
It's Slither.
Because Slither was like a sci-fi horror type thing, and it was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
You know, if this is just a superhero horror, which is entirely new kind of genre, you know, I'm down. I'm okay.
I liked it. Like, cause at first I thought it was like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And then we talked about it at work, so I went to look. I was like, oh, dude, it's like, cause when I seen the first, because we watched the final trailer together. I watched the first trailer, and then so I was like, oh fuck, it's a horror. And then I watched that, and then I looked it up. I was like, oh, it's a superhero.
Yeah, because they even go like they even show you like, oh, he crash landed on Earth, and then he's raised by these farmers, and you know he has super strength. He can fly. He's got heat vision. You see him like laser down a door and then tear it open. You know, and you kind of see like just all this stuff, and he's just like unhinged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's following hype off right now, like a superhero thing. That's what. Yeah. It's a lot of people.
It's gonna be a better Superman.
I think this is probably the perfect time for a movie like this.
Yeah, because it's right now is the prime time to explore weird superhero things. Because like Deadpool was like a superhero comedy almost. You know, and people loved it, you know, and so this is the time to diverge from just generic action superhero movies.
Yeah.
So we can have all kinds of weird stuff. And I know they tried this before with like Hancock. Hancock was supposed to be like a different kind of superhero movie, but I don't know what went wrong there. Something went wrong with the writing or something, and
I liked it.
I think
it was okay. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible.
No,
but,
it wasn't absolutely.
But we weren't. I don't think we were ready to make it, and I don't think we were ready to receive it.
Yeah, because at one point it went from like what am I to like, oh, there's two of us to like we're in love, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it was a little too fast in the storytelling aspect, and it was just a little too sudden. There were some interesting things, because there were like oh, if he just had superpowers, you know, and then like the cops hated him, and like that's a thing that's explored in the comics that we don't see as much in like Marvel.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, cops don't like superheroes sometimes. Like Spider-Man isn't always liked, Batman isn't always liked, you know, like they're like trying to like stop him and fight him and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting, where he like walked up to like a big thing, and they're like, oh, it's this guy.
Yeah. Usually in most of the comics, it's like a majority of the police force does not like the superheroes, but it's like that one, you know, down to earth cop, detective, captain, or whatever,
and he's like,
that understands that, hey, these guys are probably necessary right now with the way the world is.
Yeah, and so so just the deviation from what we have into this new thing. I'm excited for it. I'm probably.
And here's the thing. I mean, other than, you know, we get to see him bullied. We see him. You know, we see that he's essentially a. Okay, sorry for that, guys. had some technical difficulties, but we're gonna wrap it up with Brightburn. So we're gonna see it.
I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, I'm
probably gonna see it this weekend.
I definitely want to see it.
Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah.
Okay, so next we have Chucky or Child's Play.
Child Play.
Yeah, so I watched all these horror stuff.
This is you.
This is me. So with horror movies, with Freddy Krueger, with Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. Even it. Well, not even it. No, it's not it. I'm not gonna say it. Sometimes the old scary genre stuff won't work in today's time.
Yeah, it won't resonate the way it did back then.
What most horror things do is they bring it to the present day. Yep. And when you say, and then you're always gonna get that thing. That's not gonna happen nowadays. But as stupid as we are.
Movie.
Yeah, as stupid as we are, it will. And so what they do, as directors and writers is that what can they do today?
Yeah.
What they used to do last time and get away with it. And so that's what Child's Play is. If in the trailer Child's Play, he is a doll, yes, but he's also like an Alexa type of.
Yeah, he's like a smart doll.
Yeah, he can connect to the lights. He can connect to your TV.
He's the Google doll or something.
Yeah. So and as silly as that sounds, that's fucking horrifying.
It's too real. It's too real.
This thing right here.
Because you hear too much.
This thing in my ear has. I'm holding a thing that contains secrets. It contains everything on the web. I'm holding the web right now, in a sense, and this doll could fuck me over with it. In the trailer, I know he's turning lights off. He's doing all sorts of shit. There's drones,
doors and stuff. Yeah, he's got drones.
Bro. And
that's so it's so creative. Like it's such a.
I didn't think they were gonna do it.
I didn't see that coming, honestly, because the timing of everything. We just had like 2 Chucky movies, didn't we? Didn't we just have like the Cult of Chucky? And something
it was okay though.
And they were just continuations of the last Chucky. So the timing of this feels really weird. It just to reboot it, but I guess they're just rolling with whatever they got.
And
and
it's also like I said, we're getting to the point where technology is like obviously technology is a thing, but like we're using stuff that I don't really think we need. Honestly,
well, because we're at like a really weird like technological like point where like things are getting more advanced more quickly than they ever have been before. Like we went, like our generation specifically went from not having internet to internet and just all the things that brought, and then like now everybody has internet, even like downtrodden like third world places have internet and Facebook and stuff, and it's wild how connected everything is, like how much you have, how much control you can have over things now. Like cars drive themselves. Like we're really getting to that future that we talked about. You know what I mean?
He can stop cars.
He can stop cars.
Holy
all
fuck.
the Teslas, dude. He's got all of them.
Shit.
Oh fuck,
bro! I want him to kill Elon Musk in that movie. I want him to just kill Elon Musk. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah. So like, and then so yeah, it's just like it's so crazy. And like when I first seen it, I was like, oh, dude, that's fucking weird. And then I'm thinking about it, like, dude, that's fucking scary. He can turn shit up.
It's terrifying,
bro. He's just like a walking EMP. Like,
because
turn everything off.
We've had like as a concept like that idea like where that like it was like an old like Simpsons House of Horror or whatever, where they have like a smart house and then it starts hating them and wants to kill them. I'm pretty sure that's based on some other stuff. I forget what. Oh, it's based off like HAL 9000 and stuff like that. So like we have that like conceptually, like, oh yeah, we live in a house that everything's technologically advanced, and now the house wants to kill us, and so that's like, but like everything he's pulling from is from reality. You know what I mean? Like we have smart TVs, we have apps on our phones that connect to our car and our lights and all this other stuff, and Alexa's in the house. We just say, Alexa, do this, and I'm like, okay. And so it's just.
I mean, and to that too, we've already had there have been issues with the Alexa in real life.
Oh yeah,
where it starts saying things.
Yeah, did you guys know that there are people who it's like part of Amazon? I know it's Amazon specifically. I don't know about Google. I don't know about the other ones, But there are people at Amazon who have to just listen to all of the recording that the Alexa does, and they just have to sit and listen to like all this stuff, and they're like, and so like I was reading an article, I don't remember where it was, you know, and I'm gonna say like, when it comes to this kind of stuff, I never delve too deep. Like I'll look at the article and that's it. I won't like fact check it really. So this might be fake. I'll say that. I'm not a good source for information. I'll say that flat out. But so in the article I was reading, it was these people who were like, yeah, so we were just listening because we had to listen to all the even when you're not using it, we're still recording, and so we just have all this audio footage, and so we're like, yeah, and then there were times where we thought like somebody might have been like getting abused or like attacked, but we can't like report it because we're not supposed to be doing this or something. And I was like, I'm like, what? So you're gonna be listening this whole time? You're not gonna like help somebody?
Oh my god.
That's crazy. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's real.
There's even times when
But that freaks me out.
where they said, remember that where Alexa was just laughing? Remember?
Yeah.
Alexa was just laughing randomly, and then there's
That's-
times when it was reading obituaries.
I'm telling you guys, Skynet's already real.
Yeah,
yeah,
we're
whatever.
getting
We're all
there.
fucking
Skynet's
dead.
already real.
And then when
Well-
did you see that? It was like a John Oliver sketch where he was talking to like one of the AIs or something, like the Microsoft one, and then there he was like, it was like telling him about a story about God, and God was a machine, you know, something, I forget, but it was funny as hell.
Well, I mean, and recently, like, it was in the last couple of years, there were two AIs that started communicating with each other over the internet. They actually had to stop them because they created their own language.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
And they started, you know, they couldn't decipher the language, and that was the problem.
Yeah, well, there's a few times that stuff like that has happened. Like they set two AIs to try and talk to each other. So there was one story where it was like two, and so it was two AIs that they made talk to each other because they were trying to figure out an automated like buyer seller system for like an app, right? And so like, okay, so what's the most efficient way to get two people to agree to a sale, right? And so they kept going back and forth until they were like shorthanding stuff until they basically just went back and forth saying one word, where I forget what it was, but it was something hella stupid, right? They were saying things like, you know, sale or decreasing price or something like that, because it was like a let go kind of app, I think, right? And then eventually they just started saying sale to each other, like sale. So because that's like at that point in a conversation where you're both just saying sale, like I said, they will find out, they're like, oh yeah, so the conversation's over, we're both agreed to a sale. And so they're just like, every time they connected, they just said that, and the conversation ended immediately. And so I don't know, it's just funny. AI is kind of fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious how they figure out how to do things.
And then it's also scary too as well. I know it's not for us as adults, like we use all this stuff, like, but also as kids, like since me and you work with kids,
Yeah, and
they
just-
all have cell phones now.
Yeah, they all
The
have
young
cell phones. They all
tablets.
know like technology like way more. Like of course, like I'm more like I know how to properly operate like a computer, but they know how to do exactly what they want to do. To where like I didn't know how to log into these Chromebooks we have at work. The kids did. They were like, oh yeah, here it is. I'm already on. There's this game I want to play. They just did it in like minutes flat, and I'm trying to like figure out like because I had never touched a Chromebook before, so I didn't know exactly how to operate. I didn't know you had to have like a sign in, and I couldn't get on it, you know, and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh okay, whatever, you know. One of the kids at work had to show me where the unblocked Wi-Fi was, and I was like, oh dang, I didn't know we had that here. Let's go.
Yeah, so like it's also gonna be like how horrifying that is, because every toy nowadays, like every little thing can connect to Bluetooth and everything.
Yeah.
So even with kids, it's gonna be like one of those like, oh fuck with kids, because like dude, like they'll fuck them up too. Like this thing connects to everything, and then even like the publicity for this thing is Chucky going around. He killed Woody, and he's roasting Slinky, and that's giving a jab at Toy Story too, because Toy Story's coming out and he's coming out.
That's pretty ballsy of them, honestly. I think it's the first time anything's like done something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty creative, and then yeah, because when I seen that, I was like, holy fuck! I was like, are they gonna get in trouble? Did they ask? I mean, it's not exactly Woody. It's off colored and like dull colored,
well,
but you could tell
that stuff gets around. Like, so if it's not like, if I forget like exactly what the rules are, but like if it's not If it's not like if it doesn't have like their face or something, I think.
Yeah.
If it's like a
As
recognizable
long as it's
character.
not, definitely recognizable
Yeah.
as a copyrighted property, you can get
Yeah.
away with it.
Yeah. So it's.
I won't be surprised if the next one is like him with Bo Peep in a bed or something.
Oh my god, dude, that'd be.
Bro, because like he basically is gonna say fuck it, and Mark Hamill's playing him, so I can't wait.
Mark Hamill.
Really?
Yeah.
No
You
way.
guys didn't know that?
I did not know
Bro, he
that.
did. He did a whole. He
I'm
did a whole.
hyped for this one.
He did a whole video on it.
That's
Really?
crazy.
Yeah, he did a whole video. Like he
Because his
announced
Joker
it.
voice is incredible.
Yeah, and you hear in the trailer, you hear the laugh. Like he did Mark Hamill.
That's hilarious.
So it's pretty crazy.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
wait, now who's the original voice actor for Chucky?
I don't fucking know. Some dude.
Who cares? Who cares?
He's gone.
Yeah,
Nobody really cared about
now
it.
that it's Mark Hamill, nobody
Yeah.
cares.
No,
He was no Mark Hamill.
I
Let's
didn't
be
give.
fucking
I didn't give a
honest.
shit about who the voice actor. Chucky was Chucky. Like you know what I mean?
He was
Like,
just. I don't know. I'm pretty sure if we looked him up, it'd be somebody we recognize. But like he didn't.
my phone's about.
He
to
didn't
die.
bring anything to the.
He just brought a fucking
to the
crazy
table.
person.
And then in the later movies, he was just like a fucking sleazy dude. Like he was like.
sluts and fucking booze.
Because then he
and
married
cigarettes.
fucking Jennifer Tilly, but
Yeah.
not Jennifer Tilly.
And then Jennifer Tilly came back later.
and then Jennifer Tilly took over Jennifer Tilly's body.
yeah. So
We all remember that one.
So it's pretty exciting. So
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm first excited because it's like because even as a kid it scared me. Like I remember watching the first one, and it scared me.
Mm-hmm.
That and then when I got like even older, I'm just like, dude, what the fuck is he gonna do to me? You know what I mean?
He's like 3 feet tall. You're like,
but-
I'm just gonna fucking kick him.
But if he's gonna fucking lock me out my fucking house, disarm my fucking security, turn off my fucking phone, I'm fucked. Like if he really comes at me with a knife, you know what I mean? And if he controls shit like drones and anything, and fucking, he can burn me alive in this house.
Exactly.
He can fucking
All
turn my
kinds of
fucking.
stuff.
He can turn on my fucking fireplace and burn me alive and lock my fucking doors. That's fucking,
Brad Dourif.
see,
Yeah.
like,
The
no,
old
who
Chucky.
fucking
I don't know who
cares?
the
Sorry,
fuck
guy.
that is.
I don't either.
Let's look him up. Let's hit the button. Wikipedia.
But anyway, so we
Chucky,
do
Chucky,
need to.
Chucky.
So
Yep, Chucky.
you're gonna go see it
Bro,
in
I'm gonna
theaters?
fucking see it. Yes.
What about you, man?
I'm probably gonna see it now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I-
I don't know. If I go with you guys, then yeah. But if if I can't go with you guys, then I'll probably just wait for it to come out.
Bro, I fucking like the movie for that movie. All right, so next one.
All right, the one we've been dreading to talk about,
No, I'm ready to talk about this.
Oh, I'm super hyped to
Sonic
talk about this one.
Yeah.
the Hedgehog.
Yeah. So
So
Gangsta's
I know,
Paradise.
that's.
I know, our one of our recent videos. We did our review for Detective Pikachu, and that was
Yes.
essentially everything that went right
Yes.
with a video game into a movie.
Oh yeah.
This is Sonic, though, is already, we can kind of tell, an example of everything that goes wrong.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it pissed me off because I feel like it said from the creators of Fast and Furious, they didn't need that.
Yeah, we didn't need to know.
Well,
No.
well, he's
The
also
fucking-
fast.
The fucking director of
And a
fucking
little
Detective
furious.
Pikachu isn't also the fucking creator of all the fucking games. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's fucking. It doesn't need to be. It didn't need to be anything connected to Fast and Furious.
I
Maybe
think-
they
I
thought.
think- I
yeah, I think they're
it was
going to
just a-
regret that connection
I
later
think it was
on.
just a drop. They're like, oh well, that's a neat trick. They're like, oh yeah, he's because Sonic's fast. That's his fucking
Like,
deal.
what
so.
are, in Sonic Hedgehog 2, are we going to see him racing Dom?
There's not going to be two. There's not going to be a two.
No,
This
there
is-
won't.
It's not going to be.
I'm gonna be real honest with you. As much as I love Sonic, and I love Sonic. I love him so much. I love the character design. I love the games that suck. They're all bad. Anyway, so we're never gonna get anything like good with Sonic in it. It's never gonna be. It's gonna be cheesy. It's gonna be like campy or whatever. It's not gonna be. We're never gonna get what like the edgy Sonic fanboys want, where it's like this serious Sonic take of like, oh well, there's real stakes and stuff, and like, because he's not that as much as those people want him to be. Like, he's always making jokes. He's a mascot first and a character second. You know, so he's never gonna be taken seriously. He's never gonna do anything that's like
And then
anything. It's
and I
like it's all publicity.
And I understand they try to go with like, all right, let's make him sort of like human, but not.
No,
human.
that was terrible.
I don't know why they
That
did
was a
that.
terrible
and
idea.
like, and then dude, the fucking Gangster Paradise. I haven't don't. They,
Bro, I love that.
like, I forgot.
That was funny.
I mean, I like the song. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, they could have did any other
You know, I think inspired that is honestly because the vibes I'm getting from this movie are honestly Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle vibes, which was also not that great. And so that's
probably going to be better than this.
That's probably the vibes I'm getting. I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie; those are okay in my book. And they're not okay, but I like them.
Hell, I even like the old ones.
Yeah. Oh, those ones are tight, dude. Don't even shit talk those. Those are grade A.
And then a big problem that everyone's having with this is that, there other than the memes and everything,
other than he looks like a monster.
Yeah, but the thing is that there's so much backlash that the creator said, "Oh, dude, fuck, all right, my bad, we're gonna fix it."
Well, they did the same thing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too, because like in one of the first trailers, they like gave them lips or something, and fans were like, "They're turtles. Turtles don't have lips."
Yeah, and
so they took off the lips,
so
the CGI lips.
So with this, you got half of the internet saying "Thank God," and you have the other half saying "That's not cool." You have these graphic artists and everything, saying that, dude, you know how much.
Because I mean, honestly, these graphic artists are probably like, he shouldn't look like this.
Yeah, no.
This is not. Because I guarantee you, if anybody even looked at any Sonic like stuff in general, like even from the new stuff, the old stuff, this wouldn't have been the product. I guarantee you.
Yeah, and like, there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, dude, like you guys are being so inconsiderate. Someone worked hard on this, and now they have to go back and fix it, and it's going to cost so much money. Movie might be delayed."
Well, then they should have done it right the first
time.
But
the thing is that that's a trend that's happening now. Because now look at fucking Game of Thrones. There's a petition being saying to redo the whole.
Now, see, I can understand that being rude because the fact that season 8 of Game, and this is a completely different topic, but season 8 of Game of Thrones was done the same way that the past 7 seasons had been done.
But
there was no change in that. I don't know. I don't understand what people were really expecting from a show that is essentially only getting little bits and pieces from its creator, George R.R. Martin, in this final season, because he's not done with the last 2 books.
Yeah. Well,
so they knew they needed to wrap it up.
That's a whole thing.
That's a whole other thing. But I mean, with Sonic, I mean, with the way he looks, it's like somebody went and said, "Oh, we're gonna make a movie about a blue hedgehog that can run fast," and they didn't even bother to look to see what he looked like.
Dude, but what I was going with is that you have that and it's being changed. You have petitions being changed for Game of Thrones. Like a lot. Like, do you guys feel like people are being a little bit too entitled?
Well, the thing is too is because it's a thing that both sides are responsible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it because it's a mistake to adhere 100% to your audience. Because in a creative mind, you only know what picture you want to create. If you start creating somebody else's picture, it's not going to come out good. There's not going to be any heart in it. There's not going to be any actual real creativity in it. Like if that's something they want to do, you got to let that person do it. And
but if you completely ignore your audience, then you're
that's another thing too. Is like and so the responsibility lies with whoever's sparking this thing. It's like, if this isn't something you're passionate about, then you shouldn't make it.
Yeah,
if this is just money for you, you should not be a part of it. And that's just a problem that a lot of high budget Hollywood shows and movies and stuff, that's all it is. Like, this is just money. Like, it's just money to them. So they will make and write stuff that pulls in the most dollars, and sometimes it's just crap. So
you can tell when a company is told to make something because they think it's a good idea. Because I'm gonna keep going back to it because it's the only good thing we have right now. Detective Pikachu. When they made that movie, there was experts, there were people there.
There was heart.
They cared about.
Yeah. No, but they're like, hey. Looks like a fucking fast food restaurant. Here's the fucking meal ticket. Make it.
Yeah, we need a Sonic movie.
We need a blue hedgehog thing that can run
fast. It almost feels like they may have rushed this too.
It might have
with
been.
The fact that because you hear you get Detective Pikachu, but there were rumors of the movie long before that.
Well, I knew about the Sonic rumors a long time ago. I knew about Jim Carrey being on it. I knew about the voice. Too. The voice they have is a dude from like Parks and Rec or something, and then he's also in DuckTales, I think.
Yeah.
And I knew when he got the role and people's reactions to it, because they were like actually kind of excited because he's he does good voice work. You know, he's pretty funny. He's a funny guy. And then and then of course Jim Carrey being attached to it. Jim Carrey is he's iconic. He's hilarious. He's been hilarious for like the past 20 years. You know, he's never stopped being funny.
Yeah.
And it's just and then this is what we got. You know, that this is what they showed us, and nobody's happy with it.
And then people were saying like, what if they do fix it and it's still not what you like? What are they gonna do?
And I think it's too far gone. I don't think there's anything they can do. Fixing the Sonic design isn't gonna do enough because that movie doesn't even look that good.
It's like, not just Sonic that's the problem.
I think no. I mean it's not. It's Sonic's design that's the problem. I think it's just Sonic as a whole. I don't think he fits well in this medium. Like he's a cartoon character. He can be that little anime character. He can be in his video games. You know, he just fits well to what he's supposed to be in, and he's just not supposed to be in a movie.
Do you think it would have been better if it was animated?
If it was just wholly animated, absolutely, because he doesn't need to be in like a real world. Because anytime he's in the real world looks fucking crazy.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying, why couldn't they just do? I mean, they basically did try and they didn't do it. Why couldn't they do it like Detective Pikachu? And I was like, but they did, but it's not what it came out because they just Detective Pikachu put real people in the Pokemon world. They're putting Sonic in the real people world. Yeah.
And that's not what they need to happen. Yeah. They need to make a Sonic world, because the way Sonic world looks like is not at all like a real person's world look like. If you played Sonic Adventure, which is like where most of all the modern day Sonic stuff comes from, it's like you'll see what San Francisco looks like in a Sonic world, and it has a huge truck that takes up all 4 lanes in the street. That's the kind of weird shit that's in there, and then the way everything looks, the way cities look, they look vaguely like they're real, like they vaguely could exist, but when you just look at it, you start noticing that things are wrong because it's supposed to be a video game.
Yeah,
it's not a real these aren't like real designs for a real world. It's like, oh no, this is a video game level. It's very obviously a video game level, and that's always what Sonic's like world has looked like.
Also going away from this, back then Nintendo wasn't very fond. Well, nowadays you see it, but they weren't very fond with. Because I know that
Sega.
No, not Sonic. Just doing their stuff with just lending their shit out, basically. Like
you wouldn't see them in movies. They kind of. So it's because of what happened when they were like just free lending stuff out. So you have like CDI Zelda and CDI Mario's, and those games fucking sucked. Oh my god, those things are travesties. And then the live action Mario movie. And all this other stuff, and then we have the cartoons for Zelda and Mario, how they were kind of like out there, like they sold well because they were just generic cartoons, but they weren't what they wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they after seeing all that stuff, they're like, yep, we're never lending out properties again.
Yeah, and
ever.
Then like the most closest we think we got was Wreck-It Ralph when Sonic was in Wreck-It Ralph. Remember, he was in there for a brief moment, but like I'm just like. That's what a lot of people said. That's probably the best we're gonna get
for a Sonic in a movie. Yeah.
And then
honestly, it should have been animated like Wreck-It Ralph.
It should have been animated. They should have It should have
been a 3D animated like that.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people don't like Sonic Boom. I see a lot more people like changing their tone now that they've seen this new live action Sonic. They're like, well, you know what, Sonic Boom, I hated you, but now I appreciate you because I know what a monster they could have created.
Yeah.
And Sonic Boom's like, okay, it's not like from like a Sonic lover's aspect. It's like okay. It's not great. It's not incredible. It's just like it's okay. That's a Sonic. Sure, I accept it. But this new one, I don't know. It just feels so far gone. I don't know. I'm gonna see it anyway because I love Sonic, and it's gonna be terrible, and I'm gonna love it anyway.
I'm actually excited to see Jim Carrey.
Like I said, that's the one thing I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna carry it.
And everybody's been saying, and just the little bit we have, like how cartoony of a villain he is.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's perfect. That's what we need. If the rest of the world was as weird as Jim Carrey's character is, everything would have fit together, and we wouldn't have to have like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just what we have now.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably say, yeah, I don't think I'll probably wait. Honestly,
I like bad movies, so I will see it.
Yeah, I don't even think.
Yeah, unless I go with one of you guys.
Yeah, if I go with you guys, I'll probably go. But
yeah,
Cause I watched Power Rangers in theaters, and I was hyped for that. It wasn't that great either. It was just Power Rangers.
We went and saw that together,
The
didn't
new
we?
one?
Yeah, the movie.
Or the new one?
Yeah, the new one.
Okay.
It had like Becky G in it, and you know.
Becky G was in there?
Yeah, she was the Yellow Ranger.
She was, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. It was I liked it. It was good. It was alright.
It was just Power Rangers. So,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, that's what I told Power Rangers, yeah.
Yeah, so
There's nothing
I don't know.
hate
So
about it.
yeah, I don't know. I like bad movies. I like I just like seeing things I recognize. I'm a simple man.
So, all right. Well, with that then, because I know this one's running a little bit long,
Yeah.
so
that's all of the trailers.
so Godzilla we're hyped for.
Four
Godzilla's
yeses and one no.
Godzilla.
Oh,
I
you
said
forget.
5. I said 5 yeses. I said yes.
Yeah. You're essentially going to be our Rhett.
What is that?
Rhett likes everything on GMM.
Oh no, I don't like. I'm very fucking critical. I just consume it. I'm an omnivore. I'll take it. You give me something, if it looks vaguely consumable, I'll consume it. I'll just take it.
All right, so that's 5 yeses from Manuel. That's
Yep.
4 yeses and a maybe from Ted.
Yeah,
And then it's 3 yeses and 2 maybes from me.
Yep. There you go.
All right. Well,
I hope that makes sense.
yeah. I hope we helped you decide on whether or not you guys are going to go see them. And let us know which one you are excited to see down in the comments.
How would you fix Sonic?
What would you do to Sonic?
What would you let
I'd Thanos snap
Sonic
that shit out
do
of
to you?
existence.
What do you think's gonna happen in Godzilla?
What's your favorite bad Sonic game? Sonic Adventure? Me too.
Who do you think is gonna die next in Brightburn?
Who dies in Brightburn?
What's
Everybody's
the
gonna
most?
die in
Everybody.
Brightburn.
Do you think Chucky's gonna get a nuke? Well, I don't fucking know, bro.
Do you think Chucky's gonna get warheads?
No, see, I don't think we have to worry about him getting a nuke because all the systems that the nukes run on are still like they're like 40 years old, so they can't connect to
He'll find a way.
Bluetooth. So we just have to, worry about local murder sprees.
Yeah.
He'll find a way.
He's gonna go. I was gonna say he's gonna go apeshit in Toys R Us, but right.
Jeffrey's already dead.
Jeffrey's dead. We talked about that already. Jeffrey's fucking dead. Can't kill him anymore.
If you want to find out Jeffrey's fate, watch our
Detective
Detective Pikachu review.
Yep.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
We'll catch you all later.
Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can email us at nerdsmakesense@yahoo.com. And thanks for watching. Until the next one, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Hasta.